I mean, it got pretty crazy. I mean, It was just amazing. And then he pitched me this idea, hey, you're going to fight all these monsters and you can do your kung fu and I'm hitting them in the head with my spinning kicks. I mean, come on.
How old were you when you saw the original Deathstalker?
In elementary school, I had a friend who would basically reenact all the R-rated movies for me because he had an older brother who would, show him stuff at way too young of an age. So I remember him acting out and describing the opening scene of Deathstalker, and of course it being way more excessive than it actually ended up being. And as a kid, being kind of scared of this movie, Deathstalker, that's that movie with all the like sex and violence, and it's like so adult. Like as a kid, I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. Then watching it as a teen, I was like, yeah, it's excessive, but I can handle it. I'm not crippled by this.
It obviously had Roger Corman involved, but it was an Argentinian fantasy film. And do you feel like that gave it a different, let's say, flavor than a Hollywood or American-produced movie at the time?
I mean, the fact that it clearly didn't have a lot of money certainly gave it some flavor. A lot of fun, imaginative things come out of that, and especially just out of that franchise as well. I mean, I'm more of a Deathstalker 2 head myself. I feel like that's where the franchise peaks. It's an excuse for filmmakers to play and use their imaginations, and maybe because it's low budget, they have a little more room to mess around.
Well, you say imagination. When in your imagination did you come to the idea of doing this movie? Had it been a long time coming, or was it more recent, like after Psycho Gorman?
It was pretty soon after Psycho Gorman. Actually, I think we were still posting it when the conversation first happened of being presented with a list of Corman properties that were up to be optioned. I have a fondness for the Deathstalker franchise. I like the idea of adding to that universe because it's such a budget, maybe this is controversial take, but kind of a throwaway universe in that, it's not Conan, it's not Sword and the Sorcerer, it's not Krull. It is just kind of like this cash grab franchise that, a lot of love and reverence has grown for it over the years, but it is a pretty obscure franchise. And I thought, this will be a fun sandbox to play in and come up with ways to reinvigorate it and make it exciting for modern audiences.
Daniel, what was your reaction when you first heard about the opportunity to play this guy? And
sign me up. I got a call from Steven and pitching me the idea and saying, hey, listen, Daniel, I'm doing this movie, Deathstalker, and of course I knew the other films from the 80s, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he goes, you can run around in tight pants and high boots and cut off shirt and long hair and a scar and fight monsters. And I was like, it's incredible. And I mean, first of all, what an honor. I love his movies. What an honor to be offered a movie. And Steven told me that I was actually the only choice, and that's a huge compliment, because he watched some of my past projects. He was a fan of Bloodsport. He was a fan of Mortal Kombat. Working with him and having this amazing script, and we had so much fun, didn't we?
It got pretty silly.
It got pretty crazy. It was just amazing. And then he pitched me this idea, hey, you're going to fight all these monsters and you can do your kung fu and I'm hitting them in the head with my spinning kicks. Come on.
Do you feel that you've updated the archetype at all from kind of 1980s action?
And that's him,
I think it's updated also in the fact that I want to inject as much of your personality into the character as well. Like, I want it to be Daniel Bernhardt's Deathstalker, not you playing one of the previous iterations of it. Like, I want it to be a wholly original version. Your experience as an actor, as a stunt performer, action choreographer, like all of that informs the character and makes him wholly unique and interesting to me. So it was really more about just like playing into everything that Daniel brings to the table and making this Danstalker more than Deathstalker.
And less oil.
Yes. So we'll save that for the next one.
The mighty Deathstalker!
But at the same time, what's important for you to keep it to more of that kind of tactile, restricted aesthetic you were originally looking at. Were you looking at all, for example, at Lord of the Rings, or are you trying to keep it more in this era?
I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I definitely feel like I have some of that DNA is like coursing through this movie in its own way, because those are actually very practical and tactile movies. They're all makeup effects and miniatures. It's all the stuff that we're doing on this film, just on a smaller scale. But the approach to Deathstalker specifically was like, what if Lord of the Rings is happening in the background and we're following characters on their own smaller journey that's like adjacent to the big epic fantasy story that we've become more accustomed to in the past 20 years. Because I feel like right now, most of what we have in the fantasy world is, or just in the like fantasy genre, is stuff like Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, which are like huge budget things where you've got scenes of like thousands of guys fighting. I knew we would never have that, and so I wanted to lean into the more budget stuff because I felt like that's the kind of ingenuity that would help make this movie fun and make it what it is.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on the movie, and thanks for joining us today.
And one question to you guys: did you guys see the movie?
Yes, I've seen it.
What did you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I enjoyed watching the voice of Patton Oswalt, at least as Yoda on your back.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, very lucky to have him.